If people get upset with you.
People get upset with me, especially with my security clearance. They all think I'm smoking weed.
No, they want you to be smoking.
I know.
Weed.
I wish I could.
And then they're like, "What? He's just slurping water."
No. So what'd you think, Matt? Was the music good?
That was a lot better than it was before. That's for sure.
We started the podcast early, and Matt's like, I thought he said, "Is that supposed to be music?" And what he was really saying is there supposed to be music? Because we're all dancing, and his headphones weren't working. And I'm like, screw you, Matt. I wrote that song. All right, man. You got something for us?
I do. How does everyone feel about a dad joke?
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, we like it.
What do you call deer with no eyes?
I have no idea.
Oh, you ruined it. You ruined it. This is what you get for telling
No,
Dane.
it's because I always feel like I never have the answer. I wanted to
At
win
least
this
one time
I wanted to
have the
win. I cheated because Nick told me the joke, so I knew. So
Should have had another one ready.
I know. That was a good joke, by the way. I gotta admit. So
I always
way
mess
better.
up dad jokes. I always get the punchline wrong.
Big time. I can
I
never.
would have guessed Eileen or something.
Yep, yeah. I can never remember the joke, and then I end up doing it totally.
It's
wrong.
so funny that the one that Matt brought was the exact same one that we used
in the
last week with
last recording
with Corbin.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you Google search dad jokes.
Yeah, well, we do
5
that
minutes
too.
before the podcast.
Oh yeah.
No, that's exactly how I came up with that one. So that's probably yeah. I texted Matt. I'm like, bring a dad joke.
Dad joke of the week.
But
So.
Nick brought one, and then Dane ruined it.
Yep.
Hey, so we're here with the guys from TORCA. TORCA are the Tucson off-road cyclists and activists. We have Nick. I'm going to see if I can get this right. Giovannucci.
That's very good. Yeah.
Damn,
Nice.
look at that. It's almost like I'm a linguist. And Matt Hrabko,
Ooh, spot on.
which
Yeah.
I just recently got corrected because I've been calling you Hrabko forever, and Dane slapped me over the head this weekend at sunrise.
I had to ask him how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Just because I kept writing it, and I'm like, I have no idea how to pronounce your name. And he
like,
told
where
me.
does your last name come from? Like, what nationality is it?
It's like somewhere in the Hungary region.
Okay.
This is way before what Hungary is now. So it's like somewhere in Romania, Czechoslovakia, somewhere in there.
Right on.
It's cool. It's very different. Like it's definitely not a Jones or a Smith. So
Okay, so TORCA, the Tucson off-road cyclist and activist, they got a mission to preserve the tradition, condition, and etiquette of the trail and to present novel trail opportunities in a sustainable and reasonable manner. Is that still your mission statement? Did I do okay? If not, your website's out of date.
That is spot on.
Very good.
Matt's like, that sounds good.
That sounds real good.
Did I write that?
And did you write that? You might have. No, not you.
That was
someone
our
before
legendary forefathers wrote that.
the
And
forefathers, the
mothers.
TORCA forefathers and mothers. And they represent the facets of mountain biking, all facets of mountain biking community, enjoy riding all of the trails that Tucson has to offer.
Yes.
So we are so guys, as we're talking today, we are a global podcast. We have listeners from literally all over the world, many, many, many countries. So as we're talking about kind of local Tucson stuff, if we can take a vibe to kind of apply it outside of Tucson, so maybe other trail advocacy groups, both within the United States, Canada, and then internationally, you guys could help us with that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think? Can you do
Sounds
it?
good.
Sound good?
Right on, man.
All right. So I've got questions. So can you guys introduce yourselves? Maybe do Nick first and then Matt, and just kind of tell us a little bit who you are and your role in TORCA.
Yeah, I can do that. My name is Nick Giovannucci. I am TORCA president. I've been president since last October, so almost a year now. I've been, I think, volunteering since 2018-ish. I've been the treasurer for the last few years and a board member as well. Like to get involved. We need new trails, and I want to make that happen, especially on Mount Lemmon. Enjoy riding all those trails up there, as well as anything in Tucson and wherever I can bring my bike to outside of the state.
That's
or
awesome.
town.
Yeah.
I am Matt Hrabko, and I've been a board member since 2018. And I just like getting my hands dirty and making sweet trails for everyone to enjoy.
All right. So along with your roles in TORCA, that's great. But I'm interested, how did you guys initially get involved in trail advocacy? Did it start with TORCA, or what's your background in mountain biking? How'd you get involved in trail advocacy? We'll start with you, Nick.
So I've been riding for about 10 years now, which is a lot less than Matt. So he's got a much deeper background than I have, but
You can tell from his gray beard.
Yeah.
yeah, sure, yeah. I don't have
That's where
that.
it starts, buddy. This is like, this is the next gen right here.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, Nick has like no gray hairs
Yep.
yet.
My beard is red when it grows. And I mean, I wanted to ride, and I had a very hard time when I moved here right after college and started riding bikes, and I didn't really know how to network with people who rode. And I eventually found a few people and started doing work with them, and being able to understand why trails are a certain way and see them kind of up close without a bike, and understand why certain features are this way or that way, and wanting to give back and feeling like there's not enough people who do that.
Right.
My wife and I got super involved, and she's currently our secretary. I'm an Eagle Scout. I volunteered a lot when I was doing that, and I feel like it's a good thing to do, and more people need to do it. And I'm
Right.
trying to set a good example.
So you're like force multiplying now. It's not just your time. You're like organizing others and getting others.
Exactly. And I never thought I'd be the president. I know years ago people were like, oh, you're going to be the president one day. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And then it happened, and I think I'm doing pretty well.
Is he
not
doing
super
well, Matt?
swamped.
Is he doing well?
He's doing pretty all right.
Thanks.
That's high praise, actually. I know Matt.
That's
pretty
high praise
high
from Matt,
yeah.
right?
You don't get like an attaboy that much. So, so
So you came to Tucson, got into the scene. We're like, who do I meet? And you're like, hey, how the hell do these trails get here? How do they keep maintained? And you started researching, and then your background of being an Eagle Scout. I think this might be the first Eagle Scout we've had on the
that's
podcast.
awesome. I didn't make it that far. I've dropped out right before that, and like I am envious because that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is super awesome. So you just took what you learned there, and you're applying it now to the mountain bike scene. So that's awesome, man. Matt, what about you, brother?
Oh man. I mean, I started mountain biking back at the turn of the century, and
Wait,
up in
Well, which century?
the previous one. Okay. Yeah. So 20 X
in
years
the
ago.
early 1900s?
Matt is 700 years old.
I am part vampire. No, when I got into high school, got introduced to this cool thing called mountain biking, which I thought was just a bunch of, geeks on spandex, with like weird extensions on their bars, like pedaling, super fast. But
They're only weird if they're not anodized.
yeah. Well, that was the cool part, is the anodized colors back then. Yeah. But then my friend showed me, New World Disorder and people sending off of huge cliffs and jumping and metal music, and it was super badass.
Yes.
And I'm like, yo, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Chain smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So all that
Pulp
stuff.
traction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I still have all of those
Yeah.
on like,
You're not talking about chain smoking.
no, it's Chain Smoke the video.
Chain smoke's a video.
Yeah, like-
because when we first started riding, we used to take smoke breaks in the middle of our ride.
Oh,
right?
They're called safety meetings.
Safety meetings. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the videos that you just, those were the iconic ones that started. And that's what we would sit around and watch those before a race to get psyched up.
So we have like 4 generations of mountain bikers here.
Yes.
It's super interesting.
Yeah.
We got kind of next gen,
Yep.
mid gen,
Yep.
then like kind of the boomer gen, and
Yeah.
then like the World War II.
Yeah, I'm like ancient. So, he says that all the time, and I'm 29 years old.
He's
I
like
don't understand why.
He's like 4 years older than me.
Pretty sure I'm like 13 years younger than you.
You keep thinking that, buddy. You keep thinking that. So how'd you get that? So that's how you got into mountain biking. How'd you get into advocacy?
Well, I've always, built sketchy jumps in the back of my house and stuff like that, and in the woods where I wasn't supposed to. And so that was cool. Then moved down to Santa Cruz for college, and started building cat trails.
Social trails.
Yeah, social trails.
Social
yeah.
trails.
Out and around there, and maintaining them, and it's a really cool place to do it. There's trees and there's dirt. there's a stuff called
There's
dirt.
actual dirt.
Yeah, it's brown and it's amazing to dig in. You can actually dig. in
How many
it.
rocks are in
Tucson.
this dirt?
Zero.
What?
0 rocks.
What?
Yeah, we should probably like the joke here is like we live in the desert.
Yeah.
And it's basically like,
Even the dirt is hard as a
desert,
rock.
the dirt, the rocks. It's really tough to like create and maintain trails here in Tucson.
You have to take a pick or a breaker bar and like chip the dirt away. That's how
yeah,
hard it is.
sometimes dynamite.
Yes, sometimes. Definitely.
Yeah, when I first moved here, people described the terrain as we have rocks with little rocks in between it.
That's about right. So true.
But don't let us turn you off. It is some of the best riding in the country.
It's incredible.
I believe that.
Yeah.
100%. So, okay. So that's how you got like unofficially, like kind of doing social trails in Santa Cruz when you're in college. How'd you get like into organized advocacy?
Well, moved here to Tucson.
Yeah.
And
When did you move here, Matt?
that was fall of 18. And like the next weekend, like I didn't know anybody here. Like I didn't know anything. I've never ridden here. So that weekend, there was this cool party that TORCA was putting on. It's called the Pachanga. And it was a whole weekend of barbecues, shuttle rides, funduros, demos. And I'm like, oh, that sounds fun. I'll sign up for that.
Dude, I didn't even know about this. I've been riding mountain bikes for
It was
25
awesome.
years. I've never heard of this. So we're gonna have to work on your marketing, and also you got to tell me more
I
about
wish
this.
we could resurrect it. It is a lot of work.
Resurrect it, man. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
How many
We need
years,
some more people
how many
on the
years
board.
Did they have the Pachanga?
Oh, I don't know, but that was the last one. I know that.
That was when Rocky was there. And that was a great one. Like,
Yeah.
I do miss it. It's a bike festival. It's like the Sedona Bike
So,
Fest,
yeah. Or
a
like
little
outer
mini
bike,
version,
yeah.
but it kept getting bigger.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, it was super sick. And yeah, so I didn't know anybody, and I was supposed to be camping up there, but I didn't know.
This was all on Mount Lemmon.
Yeah, this is all on Mount Lemmon.
Right on.
And so I just rolled in with like my enduro bike, my hardtail, my cross country gear, my downhill gear, my enduro, like
You're like,
everything.
I have no idea what's going on.
I don't know
here.
what's going
I'm
on,
bringing
what to
everything.
expect. Like I brought my tent, food for like a week, and then like a case of beer, and I just went down into all the campsites and played Hey Mister, can I be your friend?
yeah.
Ended up meeting some of the best friends I have now, and then also Tara and Art, who were president and vice president of TORCA at the time, and then also the founders of Homegrown Mountain Biking Tours.
Yeah. Shout out to Tara. I don't remember what episode. I'll put it in the show notes, but Tara's been on the podcast before when we talked about homegrown. So shout out to Tara. She's awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, I ended up meeting them, and I'm like, hey, I like to do trail work. They're like, come on out to Red Ridge and, go play trails with us. And so that was pretty much the start of that.
Yeah.
And so it was like my on-trail interview for TORCA and Homegrown at the same time.
That's awesome.
And you currently work for Homegrown, is that right?
Yeah, since then, however many
Since
years that is.
2018.
Yeah.
Wow. So you just like randomly went to a party in the mountains,
Yeah.
met all your best friends, got into trail advocacy, got a job. Like it all just came from there.
Yeah, and eventually in a couple different steps led to me meeting my wife too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right on, dude.
Yeah.
So I guess that means like go to mountain bike parties because
Yeah.
your life can change.
Exactly. It's true. Usually for the better.
You may get a job and a wife.
Yep.
So Nick, we read earlier kind of TORCA's mission statement of preserving tradition, condition, and etiquette of the trail and to present novel trail opportunities in a sustainable and responsible manner. Hey, what does novel mean, Dane?
It's a book, I believe, that you read. I'm pretty sure.
I think it means new, right? New and interesting.
does.
New and interesting.
Damn it.
But okay, so we've learned about y'all's background and appreciate the information there. Tell us a little bit more about TORCA. Like tell us about the organization, your goals, your members. Like, how do you guys operate? What are your operating tenets?
So we are, that's a
big
That's a big
question.
question
That's a big
right
question.
there.
I know. Like all these questions are going to be big questions, so just get ready for it.
It also depends on who you ask too. You
Well, I'm
get two
asking
different
the
questions.
president of TORCA, so if he can't answer, we got problems.
so
No pressure, brother.
so I can't. I'm probably not going to answer that directly, but I'll give you some of the background of
Like
kind
a
of
true
where we're at. So currently we are a board of 5 people, which is very small, and there's a lot going on right now.
How many members? If you have 5 people on the board, how many contributors and volunteers do you have? Would you estimate?
So
we have 200 members.
yes,
200 members.
200 members. Yeah.
And
Give or take
you're
a
looking
few.
to expand your board to have folks, more folks contribute.
Yes, definitely. We currently have bylaws that have been written and voted on by the member base, and the way to change them is pretty arduous and not easy. We have
Welcome to big organizations.
exactly. We have 5 people there. I think everyone is a very solid contributor right now.
That's
we,
good.
We want to expand that to lighten the load, as well as we're also kind of working with someone for starting over the last month or so to kind of be a contractor for us to help us with fundraising, grant writing, better or more publicity,
Right.
and engaging the community more.
Right on.
That I think is probably the biggest thing we want to do, and to help us run our organization and grow it. Some of the listeners I know who are local probably will know about the Santa Catalina Trails Plan. Currently, I think in 2021 there was the comment period for that, and then 2022 the actual plan came out, and then we are currently phase 1 is partially approved.
So for our international listeners, we've got this badass mountain, like right in the center of Tucson.
Yeah.
We call it Mount Lemmon, but it's part of the Santa Catalinas.
Yes.
Santa Catalinas.
Catalinas.
Catalinas. Jesus Christ, you'd think I could pronounce that. I've lived here
Have
for
you
25
had
years.
enough whiskey?
No.
Okay. No, I was thinking you need a little more.
So we have this amazing like resource in Tucson, this amazing mountain, badass vertical drop, great mountain bike trails, raw, epic, just amazing, like one of the best places in the country to ride. So when you're referencing the Santa Catalina, that's what you're talking about, is like
Yes.
this trails plan.
Thank you for that background.
So like for international listeners, like if you haven't been to Tucson, God damn it, get out here. Like we are Bike Town, USA. It is sick out here. And not many people know this. And Tara talked about this a bit in the episode with Homegrown, but we've got just fucking badass downhill riding here.
We do.
But keep going.
Yeah, so we're in the process of kind of expanding that mountain. We have a lot of great potential. Currently, the whole Front Range is in wilderness, and we can't have bikes on there. But the whole main mid mountain is all up for grabs. Everything is multi-use though. So working with the Forest Service and having us represented as a major user group and getting more mileage, because currently there's really kind of 2 ways down the mountain now. The backside, which is Red Ridge that we mentioned, which is a little bit more backcountry. It's not, if you have a flat or you break a bend a derailleur hanger, if you don't have SRAM transmission, you're going to be in for a rough time.
Zing.
There you go.
If you
Call out.
don't
Nice.
have SRAM
I love it.
transmission,
There you go,
if
yeah.
you're running anything but Shimano, you're
Notice
screwed.
how he didn't say Shimano.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
He didn't.
no.
He didn't. He didn't.
So
I'm gonna put my
Because
Shimano
Shimano just
hat
works.
on.
There you go, please put it on. So I had to throw that in there. But that's a great ride, and not too many people get to ride it very often, but it is because it is pretty remote. But the full Lemmon drop comes down what is called the front side of the mountain.
Yeah. So like, what is the lemon? Like we've talked about the lemon drop a little bit, but kind of maybe give us some, since you referenced it, give us some explanation of what the lemon drop is.
So the Lemon drop is 32-ish miles down kind of the south face of the mountain. There's a bunch of different segments. They're all different trails. The easiest one of them is a intermediate / advanced. More than half of them are double black diamond, very technical, very exposed, very raw. There's roughly 8,000 to 9,000 feet of descent in there, with about 3,000 or 4,000 feet of ascent. It is no easy feat to do.
No.
I've done it once from the bottom to top. There is a very few select people who like to pedal up from the bottom and do all those
That's
trails
the
on the front side.
self-supported
The self-supported
lemon drop.
Yeah, they have a SAG crew helping them with that though. So
Do you
it's not
remember
fully
your
self-supported.
time? What was your time?
I think it took about 7 ish hours. I know I almost lost a pedal off a spindle at the starter or at the end of Green Mountain. It is amazing, and you see every type of terrain starting at roughly.
Your time was 7 hours from the bottom to the
No. This is we had a shuttle.
Oh, from the top.
From the
Okay,
top
okay.
down. Yeah,
I was about to like bow down to you.
No. I do want to do it self-supported and do the water fill up, but there's a very small window of weather that is like
allows
kind of
for.
doable. Yeah.
I think my time
coming
was
up.
9 hours.
Yeah, okay,
And it was. I mean, it's a no joke ride. Like, there's a lot more climbing than you think.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
There's multiple
if it's 3,000 to
hiker
4,000
bikes,
feet of climbing.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of climbing.
It is
Exactly,
a lot.
yeah.
Because you think I'm going to be at the top of the mountain, I'm going to end up at the bottom. But yeah, there's a lot of ridges in between.
Yeah, just shout out to the Mount Graham,
Oh yeah,
the Graham Cracker, 6,800 feet of descent. I don't think there's any climbing. Like, not
Except
that I
for
can
that
remember.
Turkey-
Is there any climbing? You just did it. Is
Turkey
there any
Flats.
climbing?
There's definitely some climbing, I think.
Just a little bit, not nearly as much as the Lemmon drop for
Not
sure.
as much,
yeah.
yeah.
On the trail, not, but to get to. The
All right, so we're not talking about Mount Graham. We're talking about Santa Canalitas. Go for it.
So yeah, there's basically one way down that south side of the mountain, and the last trail that was built about 10 years ago or so, maybe 11 years ago, and that was Incinerator Ridge. And there hasn't been any new builds since, or any sanctioned new builds. So there's been a few unsanctioned, but they're not that long. We won't talk about that. This trails plan is really focusing on adding mileage for every user group. So mountain bikers, hikers, and the equestrian user groups, as well as access to hiking trails for the climbers. We push very hard to get as much mileage in there as possible. There are 3 or 4 trails. I don't know if we should get into them in detail right now. That have been submitted as of last Wednesday, I think technically was the user group meeting that we had, and nobody objected to anyone else's trails. So that is the kickoff for the approval process, which
For phase two.
Yep. Which is not super quick, unfortunately, because
the government.
I mean, best
government.
I can tell, like shovels in the ground a year from now,
If you're
best
lucky.
case.
if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Or like 2.
2 years. You think it's 2 years?
Hopefully a year and a half. I hope for closer to a year, but no, you're probably right, Matt. I'm probably too optimistic on that. But yeah, with that approval process, it goes through an archaeological survey, endangered species survey. All the Mexican spotted owl is breeding on anywhere in the pines from, I think, March 1st to August 30th.
Right.
Or there, so or August 31st. We have submitted and scouted, and scouting, the terrain up there is incredibly unforgiving on some of our scouting missions. I know that I kind of didn't really procrastinate, but we had an idea for a trail that for kind of mid to lower mountain that would parallel Bug Spring, which
Is that Bugs Jr.?
So Bug Jr. was the name of the trail, and then it changed to Bug Senior. We had a different, longer one.
But ultimately, that didn't pan. I was in the meeting with Matt last week on Wednesday.
Yeah, so
that didn't pan out.
So we found a 80% solution, and that solution was going to cost about $1 million to build.
It was going to be sick.
So it was going to be sick. Yeah, the valley.
If you
So
spend $1 million on a trail, it better be sick.
It better have a chairlift.
I think there was the feature that was made at the $1 million was the Valley of Broken Dreams or Lost Dreams or something that you guys nicknamed it. That is
And the Molino Vista.
the Molino, yeah, that too. But that really, based on our operating budget, is going to take a long time to build, and we don't have that kind of money just sitting under the mattress ready to spend.
Yeah.
We decided, or in June, I decided to scout a trail off the control road, off the backside of Mount Lemmon that doesn't really have a whole lot of traffic, and there was a concept that was provided to me from Eric from Outslope Solutions, who is a contractor for the Forest Service, and
Right.
he didn't ground truth it. I ground truthed it a few times, and it was pretty painful, based on all the thorn bushes. But we have a great solution that will be a flow trail with some small bee lines, as well as possibly some jumps on those bee lines, and it will be directional and mountain bike optimized, and
kind
probably
of where
no
there's no
climbing.
hikers. I mean,
No hikers. It will be a great kind of, I think Aspen Draw might be odd even next summer to deconflict with the hikers, because that trail is, I don't know if we want to give a big explanation on that, but
Yeah. So I mean, like, so I sat in the meeting, right? And so they talked about some of the trails that we all ride, 1918, Secret. They talked about, what else? Bigelow. They talked about adopting all those trails, doing some improvements to them.
Yep.
I think 1918, they're going to move up the wash a bit. Secret, they're going to blow out some of the turns to make it more like, user friendly. Although I think you can still do the jumps or whatever over there.
this just be grade reversals.
Yeah, grade reversals. And then I think they had 2 flow trails they mentioned.
Yeah, so Secret is going to be adopted, so that's cool. It's a half mile of Wildcat Trail that's been around for I don't even know how long.
Yeah, since I've been here.
Yeah. It's heavily used, well known. Everyone knows about it. Not so secret.
It's super secret. Do people know about super secret?
Everyone knows about super secret.
There's no secrets on Mount Lemmon, at least not that I know of.
Yeah.
But I can tell that Nick knows some.
But there's another trail that we scouted out just above that. So it's a little bit longer trail. It's about 1.5 miles. And it follows a fire line, which, if you know the topography, the front side of Mount Lemmon, or the south side, is a pretty relatively mellow grade that just goes down into Tucson, and the backside is fairly cliffy. So right beyond the ridge line there, there's a 500-foot cliff or whatever. It's solid. But on top of that ridgeline, there's a great fire line that they made, not this last bighorn fire, but the previous fire. And it was great. It's this great, open area with trees and dirt, which is
Real dirt.
a real anomaly around here.
Real dirt, which is an anomaly in the desert.
Yep. And so that's the first bike optimized directional trail that we were scouting and planning out.
So ultimately, in this whole like phase 2, like some of the social trails will be adopted and be formally within the trail system, maintained, and all that kind of stuff. And then there's about, I think I saw somewhere between 5 and 6 additional miles of mountain bike specific, two different trails, but mountain bike specific.
Yeah, so the only 2 mountain bike specific or optimized trails, they can't actually have mountain bike
optimized trails. Gotcha.
because once again, government.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
and there's different trail advocacy groups all working with this, right? I mean, it's not just mountain bike support. It's equestrian, it's hikers, it's everybody.
Yeah, and we even have CASA, which is the local rock climbing group as well.
Yep.
Out there doing their part. But actually, the mountain biking sector was the most outspoken during the comment period in the 2020s. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So it's pretty cool to see the whole community kind of rally together and push for that voice, which was definitely heard. So that's super cool. And we do a lot of work out there. We maintain a lot of the multi-use trails that everyone uses.
It blows my mind how much you guys do that has nothing to do with riding. You have to learn about endangered species, you have to learn about archaeological issues, you have to deal with other user groups, and so you guys are constantly in touch with the Forest Service. So how is that? I mean, we keep saying government, but it's the Forest Service that you're dealing with mostly. So and so you have
and you guys have been really successful, right? What is your
the amount of work?
The amount of work. So tell us what's it like to work with the Forest Service, and what's the secret sauce for the people all over the United States who are listening to this? How have you guys been successful?
I actually, aside from the success, but if you were going to tell somebody in another place that's going to start doing what you're doing, Is there any shortcuts or like pitfalls that you would tell them to stay away from, or that they should absolutely do, or what are some pointers to them that you feel like you really learned?
So, I mean, do you want me to take this, Matt? I mean,
That's a big ass. I told you all these are big questions, guys.
I just got the deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have blown us away with your success. That's where these questions are coming from. You guys have been super successful. Like, it's been decades since we've seen any real movement on the Santa Catalina's, and you guys have helped catalyze that. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, so we're definitely standing on the shoulders of legends here. You know, there's a lot of people that came before us. Tara and Art Alcantara and Vernie Akins were the originators of TORCA, and they, saw a need for trail advocacy on the mountain because there really wasn't anybody that was actually doing anything on Mount Lemmon. There's a lot of stuff in Tucson in general. SDMB was doing great. They started this whole advocacy group. And back when I started, they had this idea to go to the Forest Service with this, trails plan, if we had infinite money, what trails would we want to put on Mount Lemmon? So we sat down with
develop the trails plan initially and take it as a proposal to the Forest Service?
I don't want to say that in so many words, but it seems that way.
Okay.
They've been pushing for a long time.
Yeah.
They've definitely been pushing
and trying to get the Forest Service to actually pay attention. Because I've talked to some forest people, and it seems like they don't actually want us up there. I that's not fair to them. There's a lot of them that are
It's
great.
totally not fair to them.
But in general, their edict is to try and protect the forest and to take care of it.
I don't think that's their edict. Do you guys think that's their edict? What's
that's what I've heard.
Depends who you're talking to.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked to the recreation staff officer most frequently of the Santa Catalina district, because there are 5 districts within Coronado. This is by far the busiest one because it's closest to Tucson.
Right.
We are one of, I think, 30 different partner groups, which is
that's a huge amount
more
of
than
people.
Than any other district of any other forest that I've heard. So it's all kind of, we want to have our voices heard, but we can't trample everyone else because everyone provides their own work, but we do volunteer a lot and maintain a lot of the trails. And they're not just mountain bike trails. Like I said earlier, they're multi-use. So our work also benefits other user groups.
Yeah.
And the Forest Service likes that, and they see that.
Yeah.
And they know that, like I said, the Lemmon drop is literally only one way down, and everything is an out and back, more or less. There are no real loops. And they need more trails to kind of disperse people, because Tucson or Mount Lemmon is a sky island. Everyone in Tucson loves to go up there in the summertime.
So maybe just explain the sky island, since you used that vernacular. Maybe explain that to our international listeners. Like Arizona, what is the concept of a sky island?
So Sky Island, I mean, this is not like a formal definition.
Just what's Nick's opinion of what a sky island is?
I mean, it's a 9,000 foot mountain. Like in our backyard, you get pretty much every ecosystem from Mexico to Canada in an hour drive up there. Yeah. And at the top is, in the summertime, Tucson's 110 degrees. In July, you're up there and it's 85. And it's a great way to escape the heat. But there's also a limited amount of space up there that people can recreate.
So we have these so if you're driving through Arizona, it's pretty much like flat desert everywhere. And then we've got these big ass mountain ranges that kind of pop up. And it's not like the Rockies that expand for states and states and states. These are kind of a couple hundred square miles. They go really, really high up in elevation. And so as you're driving through, it kind of feels like that's a sky island, right? And the Santa Catalina's is one of those sky islands.
Yes.
Yeah, we talk about Mount Graham.
Mount Graham is another. Those the Graham Mountains are another one.
Yeah, any of these mountains around here that have pine trees on the top.
Exactly, yeah.
So what it is an ecosystem at the top of the mountain that's completely separate from a similar ecosystem, in another mountain. Yeah. So if you think of the desert being an ocean, so to speak, and we have these little islands of
of
It's different
mountains.
ecosystems on top of these.
It's a super cool resource that we have, and it's like totally different. If you're down in the floor in Tucson, it's like you said, it's 110 degrees or 105 degrees. You go up, it's 75 or 80 degrees up on top of the mountain, maybe a little warmer than that.
Yeah, I mean, the southernmost ski resort in the United States is at the top of Mount Lemmon.
Yeah. Did everyone know that we have a ski resort in Tucson, Arizona? I think the most southern ski resort in the United States.
Yeah.
Did I just repeat what he just said?
Totally just repeat.
Fucking A. I guess I've had enough whiskey.
Stole my thunder.
Nice. Got that buzz going.
No, I was not stealing your thunder. I was like reinforcing your thunder.
Oh, okay.
I am the reinforcer.
You're the lightning to my thunder.
If I had $1,
accentuating.
if I had $1 for every time someone told me that, that's awesome.
But yeah, I've ridden more times in the snow in southern Arizona than I have anywhere else.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I never thought that I'd move to practically Mexico and be riding in the snow, and not like just a little bit of snow, but like hub deep.
A shit ton of
bottom
snow.
deep.
You
Yeah.
just said that, and like my brain just blew up because I totally agree with you. I think that's exactly right. I'm not kidding. Like I've done CDO in the snow where you do half of it in the snow, and I don't think I've ridden in the snow anywhere else.
Yeah.
So,
I made snow angels at the top of CDO one time. Yeah. And mind you, it's 106 degrees out today.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's no snow on the mountain today, just for the
not
record.
Yeah.
That'd be some.
All right. So like we've got this thing about so if we don't maintain the trails, if we don't contribute to advocacy, there won't be trails. Correct. And as a new kind of like zealot for trail advocacy, that's me. I've been a mountain biker for way longer than both you guys. I've been riding bikes for 25 years, and Dane's been riding bikes for 50 years.
75
Yeah,
years.
something like that. Long
I
time.
actually invented the bicycle.
But I never really, besides like the social trail work I did, I've never really done any real trail advocacy. And I've realized that like that's a bad thing. And so here's my question. Do you agree that all mountain bikers should contribute to trail advocacy and maintenance efforts? And how do they get involved? And to those in the Tucson area, how can they help with TORCA?
100%. I think every mountain biker owes it to their local advocacy group or trail maintenance group to, just contribute a little bit. Any little bit counts, whether that's being a member or going to volunteer trail days or going to their, pint nights or movie premieres or whatever it is,
Or
showing
just
up.
donating cash, right? If you if you don't have the time, we'll take your money.
Yeah, if you're a member,
Exactly,
that's $30 for a whole year, right? At least for TORCA, and gives you maybe some credit at some bike shops. It also gives you a nice little pat on the back to make you feel good about yourself. But yeah, we like money too, just like anybody else. And those, we're like 100% 501c3 nonprofit volunteer group. So all of the money from members and anything that we raise goes right into tools, fuel for the trucks and the weed whackers, and it's not going into our pockets or going into our bikes or anything like that. It's going straight back to the trail.
You guys don't have any paid members of your organization,
Not at all.
True?
Yeah.
Paid employees, you mean?
Yeah, correct.
That is correct. Yeah. With that one subcontractor, we're working something out where they'd get possibly a percentage of whatever fundraising they bring in, but that's still a work in progress.
I think that's a good deal, though. You bring in money, you get a percentage of it.
If he brings in nothing, he doesn't get anything. So
That's like incentive based.
oh, totally.
I love it.
I'd like to tack on one thing to what Matt said. I know the founding members of this organization have socialized and the 1 day pledge, which is every mountain biker in Tucson should give 1 day, one trail day a year is kind of like the bare minimum.
Just 1 day a year.
That is the bare minimum, and that would go a long way based on how many people.
So Jesus Christ, people, if you can't give 1 day, what the hell are you doing?
Well, we just came back from Sunrise, and I think I maybe told you this. I went through this trail called Project, and on that trail is a fallen log that we built up. And I was there. I was volunteering, and I built that jump over the log.
Yeah.
It's still there today, and I did that easily 10 years ago, easily. And I still take great pride in that.
Yeah, there's something rewarding. Like
Yeah.
I was telling these guys, I got like this massive like infection or whatever you call it from reaction from poison ivy doing the down at Mount Graham, and I'm super stoked to go ride Arcadia and ride the little stupid 100 yard like or 100 meter section that we worked that day, and like I'm sure it'll be overgrown by the time we get back there, but like take pride in like the way it looks today versus the way it looked when we started. And I'll feel good about that. And every single mountain biker, every single one of the dozens of mountain bikers that go through that section will enjoy that a little bit more because the work that I did.
Yeah. We talked about that with Dave Schlegel, and that's one of the, probably the biggest gratifications you can get when you volunteer is to be able to ride that trail and go, yeah, I kind of helped with that berm, or I helped with that, that armoring of that corner or that drop or something.
Or you
like
help
that.
brush that stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you gave money.
Yeah.
Or, or whatever it is that you volunteer. So the question you guys didn't answer was specific to TORCA, like for our local listeners, like how can they help out with TORCA?
I mean, you want me to take this?
The best way is either through funds or coming out and volunteering. Right now, volunteering, getting people out on the trail is probably what we need most. A lot of what we have around here is, even though we're in a desert, the plants grow really quickly.
During the monsoon season for sure, right?
Yeah, and then also in the springtime and the fall time, pretty much any time that there's not either like 106 degrees out or it's not under snow.
Yeah.
And so just everything grows back super quickly as soon as water hits it. Brushing back, the plants is, an ongoing battle. It's something that just always happens. It's a necessity around here.
I think you can get one of those like helicopters that kind of hangs the things, and we just fly down the trail.
So
Or
that's
like
the second
something that you attach to your bike and just.
I saw one of those.
So if we had the budget,
yeah, right there you
So
go.
money. So you guys use some terms that our listeners might know. So there's kind of like brushwork and tread work. So can you kind of help us explain the difference between the two?
Yeah, so brushwork is basically brushing back or, cutting back the things on the side of the trail that are growing into it. And so we like to do what we call a 5-year trim. And the idea is that we want to be able to brush it back enough so we don't come back here in the next 5 years. Oh. And so usually that's about, 4 feet off the trail.
Arm's length.
Yeah, the trail corridor for any trail is about 3 feet on either side of the trail.
6 feet total. So if you if you're a tall dude, you put your arms out, that's basically your wingspan.
Yeah, if we get your standard, shovel or McLeod or something like that, stick it out to the side of the trail. And that's about how far you want it to be brushed back. Granted, there's a lot of spots where there's rocks and cliffs, and you can't brush back
cliffs and rocks.
So you do what you can do.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the idea. So that's brushing. Tread work is when you're reinforcing or maintaining the actual tread of the trail. So actually the part that you're riding on. Around here, we get a lot of water coming down off the mountain at one time. It's not like in the Pacific Northwest where it's just like constantly, raining or drizzling or cloudy. We're talking about like an hour and you get like, a torrential rain, and then it gets sunny again. And so it's a massive amount of water in a very short amount of time, and which washes away a lot of the actual, little tiny rocks which make up the trail. And so what we like to do is we like to go in and take the larger rocks, put them in the trail, bury them, and so it actually maintains it and keeps it in the same place. And there's also a handful of trails, I'd say even less than that get heavily used. Bug Springs, Prison Camp, the Arizona Trail in certain sections. They get, used by pretty much like 90% of the mountain bikers here in Tucson. And that's, a couple thousand people, and you're doing a couple runs a day or, so that's...
It's a lot of use.
Yeah, it's a lot of multipliers there.
Yep.
And so, yeah, a lot of use there. Fortunately, these rocks do a pretty good job at reinforcing those trails. We just need to go through and do that to pretty much all of them.
So I got a question. When you guys are presenting plans and stuff, how much latitude do you have to do features and things like that? Like, does the Forest Service
what is a feature?
Maybe take it over a rock and have a little drop, or have an obstacle that requires a little more skill, not just make it like a kind of a highway, you know?
Yeah.
And like, so is
that,
there,
so that fun shit on the trail.
yeah, like, I mean, you know, so I take a lot of people on trips and I take a lot of beginners and you know, I have to be aware of what they're capable of because I have a bad idea of what I'm capable of.
He thinks, he's like, Josh, you can do this trail, no problem. And I go down it and I'm like shitting my pants halfway down the trail. I'm like, God damn it, Dane.
And so I get it that you got to make the trail for everybody, but do they give you any kind of latitude to be like, hey, you know, you make it around this rock, but you can have a little, you can put a little kicker and then somebody who wants to can go over the rock, you know? Do they let you do that or do they really restrict you?
So that actually kind of goes back to your question a couple questions ago about, you know, talking to different people in different areas about what they can do. Is every Forest Service district is
Different?
kind of beholden to who's in charge.
Okay.
So if you
So
go
it really
to
depends on the person in that role at that time, like what
Yes.
their perspective is.
So if you go to, you know, I've been to Jackson Hole and there's some massive doubles on Forest Service land.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to the Pacific Northwest, you know, it's a similar, you know, thing.
Hey,
There's
Matt,
a lot.
for our listeners that don't know, like what's a double? What do you mean by that?
Oh, a double is it's a grade reversal. To speak
What's
in
a
code,
grade reversal?
it's a sweet jump.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a jump, and does double usually mean that there's a gap?
Yeah, so a double means that there's
Yeah.
a lip and then a landing. So a jump and a landing with a gap in between.
Yeah, and then a table would be the same jump just with filled in.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
which I can do, but doubles I can't.
You can
Yes, you can.
I can if I close my eyes.
just imagine.
So that's what I have to do sometimes. Yeah, we were talking about Noble Canyon and San Diego, and in Noble, you know, you ride through as you're getting into Noble, you're going through the forest, and as you're riding the trail, it snakes around all these obstacles, and as it snakes around a stump, there's a little rock that goes up the stump, and then the log. And then they've cut the top of the log and serrated it so that you can have traction. And so you can go around it as a beginner, but then you can also do a log ride. And that's the forest land. So somebody there was like, hey, that's okay. And I feel like I'm just like, is it? So it's really dependent on the person that you're talking about, whether or not they'll even allow for something like that.
Yeah, and there's also a 300-page document about trail features that you can have.
Can you get that on audiobook?
We do know
If you
that
want to go
wood
to sleep
bridges
really
are
quickly, yeah.
definitely not allowed.
Wood bridges?
Wood bridges are not
bridges
allowed
are not
on
allowed.
Forest Service land.
Really?
On this forest.
So
land,
is
at
it
least.
specific to, is that document like specific to this area?
Well, then there's also different environmental effects that, you know,
I don't know how you guys do this. It's
It's
amazing. You guys are
pretty great.
so patient and,
Yes.
and amazing.
So to also
So there's also you know, there's things that you can do like in slope corners. And that's,
Like berms
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Your words, not mine.
and slope corners.
Yeah. Grade reversals are, you know, where the trail goes down and then up suddenly,
Yeah.
you know,
so-
or vice versa.
Yeah. So that
All
it's
those things
crazy.
that make it fun to ride a mountain bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you've got to really just placate to whoever's in charge and what their idea of mountain biking needs to be.
Right. And then also the idea of the trail too.
Yeah.
Like Bug Senior, when we were scouting that out, we were, you know, scouting out a black diamond or, you know, a dark blue trail.
Yeah.
And we are, you know, looking at features that could make it that way.
Yeah.
And that was super cool with the Forest Service.
Yeah.
They were totally behind that. We just ran into some obstacles that were just unrideable for a considerable amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like some of the new trails that we're going to be working on phase 2, the Fireline Trail and then Crystal Springs Trail or Silver Springs Trail. You know, those are going to be bike optimized with bike optimized features on them.
Yeah.
And they're also designed, you know, for everyone to ride. So there are going to be some go-arounds, and there's hopefully going to be some pretty sick features there.
Yeah, we did Sunrise, and they have a beginner like green trail called Yage, and
Which is not a fucking beginner trail.
It's a total
Just for
beginner
the
trail.
record, dude.
Like, I don't know
It
what
is
Josh
not.
is talking
It is a
about.
blue. It is a blue trail at every
is-
other bike park I've been to.
It is a green
It's
trail.
awesome, but it is not a green trail.
But they did just redo it, and they put little
shout out to the
kickers.
Tonto Gravity Riders.
Yeah, like Chris and James, they're awesome. So they put put little kickers into the trail. So you can go around and they're on the side of the trail. And sometimes I don't even know if they were meant to be there, but I just made them kickers. but they put some on flags, and so they actually built some of them. Some of them you kind of just hit a little stump and catch some air. But it was cool because then my 9-year-old is riding the same trail and he doesn't hit those, and he's having a great time. So
this is the same kid that almost went down a cliff.
He did almost die.
Yeah.
He ended up down the hill.
He had one arm around the tree,
one arm around another tree, one leg around the other tree.
His one other leg holding his bike from going off a cliff.
But is the bike okay?
The bike
bike's
is okay.
fine.
Yeah, the bike is.
It was a pivot switchblade too.
Switchblade,
Right?
so custom.
Yeah,
so custom AF. But anyway, so like you guys are working with the Forest Service constantly. Would you say that that's probably the biggest thing that you do? I mean, it sounds like that's the biggest thing you guys do is coordinate with them and try and get them to let you do more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the advocacy part of the whole TORCA. So the A at the end.
Yeah.
Is we're trying to get more trails and more access to trails.
Yeah.
And that's for all users also.
Yeah.
So not just the, super shreddy,
bro dudes.
Yeah.
Or girls. So
bro people.
There we go.
Yeah. But also, everyone. And so that's why we wanted to get some more user-friendly trails like upper in the mountain. Because right now, if you are in Tucson and you're in the summertime and you want to go ride, that's not like 6 a.m. or,
4 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 6 a.m. It's already 80, 90 degrees.
But yeah,
listen, we have 8 months of awesome, 4 months of awful. Let's not like cloud our listeners with the 4 months of awful.
Well, so Mount Lemmon,
the tail end of it now.
We're talking about Mount Lemmon and Sky Island. We have, 365 days of awesome.
Yeah.
We really do. We have that
that's
opportunity. So that's awesome.
So now we're trying to get some awesome, more mellow trails or user-friendly trails higher up on the mountain.
Yeah,
so you can ride in the summertime and not have to ascend it or go down some nasty rocky cliffs.
Yeah, because Mount Lemmon's a pretty vertical mountain. There's not a lot.
For all of us intermediate riders, myself included, I'd like to thank you for that.
But then it's also, a balancing act, because there are a lot of cool, shreddy people here in Tucson. And that's really what Tucson is known for, is the hard technical.
Yeah.
And you can ride that, in the winter time.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the Tucson Mount Lemmon riders are known for. We have hundreds and hundreds of miles of non-technical shit in Tucson.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I know that because I've been riding it for 25 years.
Yeah. So trying to, work with people who do want, those hardcore trails and those people who do want the more, green or light blue trails. It's a fun balancing act, and people get angry.
Yeah.
And, it's, I like to say, if you don't like something or if you have something to say, come out to a trail day.
Yeah.
Or come to a board meeting. All of our board meetings are open to everyone. They're on our website. We advertise them.
TORCA.org.
Correct. Yeah. And we'd love to hear different people's points of views. Because right now, like Nick said, there's only 5 of us, and we're trying to keep this thing together.
Yeah.
And we got some good headway. We got some good opportunities in front of us. But we just need more people and more voices.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. So I've been, we have a podcast here, and, I'm an avid podcast listener. That's what I do, like in my spare time or whatever. And I've been listening to the Trail Effect podcast. It's put out by Josh Bloom. Matt's shaking his head. If you guys haven't listened to it, and to our listeners, if you haven't listened to it, it's a great podcast. And, we are all like super stoked about like New Trail. We're all super stoked about New Trail. But recently Josh has been like focusing, the other Josh, like Josh Bloom.
I'm glad you clarified. Thank you for clarifying, because I was confused.
Yeah, you were confused. I wasn't talking about myself in the first person. But Josh has been talking a lot about like the value of maintaining what you have. And so I'd love to get, maybe we can start with Nick. I'd love to get your perspectives on like, what's the value? Because you guys do a lot of work, not just on creating new trails, but maintaining what we have. Like, what's the value, and why should we all be just as interested in maintaining what we have versus creating something new?
I mean, I feel like maintaining what we have has been kind of what we've been doing for as long as I've really been in TORCA. I mean, we have definitely had a really big push for scouting that for phase 2 over the last year or so to get new trails. But the current trails, like Matt said earlier, some of the popular ones get thousands of users in a given month, depending on the season. And like Dane, you said that really Tucson doesn't have an off season for riding.
No.
It's just kind of where you ride and what time you ride and what the weather's like when you ride.
For sure.
So, but maintaining what we have because of all those users, and the rainfall that Matt mentioned, there can be quite a bit of erosion. And what I like to say, erosion is not a trail feature. A lot of people on Mount Lemmon like to think that eroded trails.
You're neutering
it's
the trail.
Tack. Yeah, that's so tack. Like, why are you
like
sanitizing it? Yeah. And I'm just like, we're here to make it sustainable. It's in our mission statement.
Yeah.
We need to maintain them so that we still, so that they're still rideable and that they don't go away and they still maintain the same character. A lot of people don't realize that trails are basically living organisms. There are a lot of effects of not only people, but weather effects of wind, rain, etc., that change the way they are. And trails I haven't been riding here for only 10 years. I know, Josh, you've been riding here for a lot longer, but trails year after year, season or riding season after different part of riding season do look different. And we need to maintain and make sure that they are still rideable in the spirit that they should be, so that everyone can enjoy them.
Yeah, that's great. I'm constantly amazed on how much you guys do and have to deal with, like aside from all of that, trying to get people organized, trying to deal with the Forest Service and then all the other user groups, then trying to maintain trails while you're trying to have this forward-looking idea of building trails and creating more, and then keeping an open mind about user groups. And so, like, for instance, Matt bringing up, we need some green trails up there, which he's absolutely right. It's very difficult to ride Mount Lemmon for a beginner. And as I have my kids, they're opening my eyes because I do ride a lot of trail and I am not scared about technical and I can do it and it doesn't seem like that big a deal. But then I take my kids and I realize my son's walking down like a 1 foot route, and I realize, man, people need to be able to get into the sport and they need that jumping off point. You can't just take them straight into Bug Springs. They need some.
Yeah.
They need some.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent 23 years riding cross country.
Yeah,
and then my wife, who's like a downhill rider, she's like, stop being a wussy. Let's go get up on the mountain. Then I partnered with Dane, who's a downhill racer, and he's like, Josh, come on, we got to get you. I've never ridden Bug Springs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we gotta get you out there
soon.
Yeah. So like, I can handle black trails. Can I handle Bug Springs?
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I always tell people with bugs, like, whatever you don't want to do, just walk.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And like be in your own self. But
all right, I'm going out next week to ride bugs. I think I think it's bad that I have a podcast, a mountain bike podcast in Tucson. I've never ridden bugs.
Let's do it at
Please,
night.
like, bring it at me.
Yes,
I'm not going to do it at night.
Come on, let's do it at night.
Jesus Christ.
That's the best time to do it.
It is. It's awesome at night. You
so
don't
good.
see all the exposure.
Yeah, you guys can ask Tara.
Great
I hired
city
her to
lights.
like train me on prison cam. She's like, oh Jesus.
Well, you got the best of the best. The other tier in
She's
Tucson.
a great. I mean, I learned so much from Tara and also Joanna Yates. Up in Sedona. If you guys know Joanna, I learned a ton from those guys. Like, shout out to the women in our field, man. Like, we need to get a bigger voice, and that's one of the things with this podcast that we're trying to do is give a bigger voice to the women
For sure.
All right, so I think the next question is yours, man. But like,
Well, I'm gonna skip down.
Yeah,
Wait,
skip down. You go.
So let's go away from the forest and the trails, and
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
kind of learn about these guys a little bit
Yeah.
more. What would you say from each of you, Nick and Matt? What is if you could pick your favorite trail just anywhere, not just in Tucson, like anywhere? Do you have a favorite trail? Like one that you think about that you're like, I got to get back there.
I do.
Okay, go Nick.
I like Windsor and Santa Fe a lot.
Oh, shit. We just rode that. High five, dude. We just rode that like
I
2
love
weeks
that
ago.
trail so
That trail
much.
is sick.
That trail is so much
That
fun. I just
sail
giggle
is
all the way
sick.
down it.
That's exact. Thank you for taking me to that.
Yeah.
Although the commuting shit sucked. Like
You
driving
gotta-
up,
you know-
driving back
But
up,
they have a
driving
free
back
bus.
up.
Yeah,
We
take
didn't
the
take
blue
bus.
shuttle.
We didn't take
Oh.
the bus. We
Yeah.
should
It is-
They
definitely
can
do
take
that.
6 bikes, I think, and the ride back into town isn't too
We
bad.
had like 10 people.
Okay,
and that's
yeah.
the problem that we always run into. But the
Yeah.
shuttle's not that bad. It's,
No.
it's pay to play, in my opinion, on almost everything, unless you have a chairlift. And a shuttle is an easier pay to play than riding up the mountain.
And you and I paid 2 hours of driving time
That's
to
okay.
shuttle all those 10 people.
Although
while-
next time-
while they sat down at the bar and drank.
Next time, I've decided next time I ride that trail, when we go back to get the cars, I'm taking another person to drive, and I'm
Yeah.
going to do the trail
On the way
do a
down.
hot lap and beat the
Yes,
car down.
there you go.
Yeah. You probably would beat the car
I'm
down.
pretty
too.
sure we can
I
beat
just
the
bought
car
a
down.
7-pack belt. I just bought your
My rack?
Velocirax.
Oh, yeah.
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 It'll be
nice.
here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to see Lacey helping you guys shuttle up on Mount
Yeah,
Lemmon with the 7
They-
Velocirax.
I don't like that they're not in bike shops. I don't like
I
Consumer
know
Direct.
this is here we go Consumer Direct.
Yeah.
Here comes the bike shop.
However, I am very happy.
All right, so
with that.
your favorite trail's Windsor, which we just rode like 2 weeks ago, and I
that trail.
echo that trail was awesome. I don't know if it's my favorite trail, but I really enjoyed that trail.
There's it's hard to choose one, but it's just the convenience of the free shuttle, and just you can open. It's not too steep that you have to ride your brakes. You can just open it up and just.
So for our listeners, right, this is like just outside of Santa Fe, in New Mexico. And like if you're if you're going up to the Angel Fire Bike Park, which I contend is the best bike park in the United States
For now.
I think Sunrise is going to whoop them at some point.
Oh,
Sunrise is taking them on. We can talk about that. We have another podcast coming out about Sunrise and what they're doing up there. But Angel Fire is amazing. But if you're on your way to Angel Fire, like that's a great place to stop and break up the ride. I'm with you on Windsor.
I forgot the name of that little restaurant, but it's great.
At the base there. There's
Tuskegee or Tuskegee. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
Yeah.
village is Tuskegee. or
Yeah,
something
whatever.
like that.
At the base, you can find it. Matt, what's your favorite trail in the world?
That's a tough one.
You can give us a couple if you can.
I was going to say, there's so many different trails with so many different characteristics, and one of my favorite trails, I'd say, that I've always said is Braille Trail out in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Up in the SoCal Demonstration Forest.
Okay.
It's beautiful, long, rooty, has some awesome, cool little hits through the redwood trees, duff. It's amazing.
So we're going there next summer.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah.
That's one of the legal trails that they have in Santa Cruz, which is pretty cool. But more so, I'd say like the Bugs Prison Millie Lap.
Yeah.
I think that one's like
Bug Springs, Prison Camp,
yes.
Grosso.
So that's like the lower three mountains,
this
or lower
is-
three
this is
trails we have
Tucson.
here on our mountain.
What do we call that? Because it's part of the lemon drop.
We call it
not
the
meringue.
We call it the Bugsarosa.
Bugsarosa.
Yeah.
That's Milagrosa and Bugs together.
BPM as my acronym for it.
Yeah. But it has so much variety. I mean, you're starting off like, on some granite slabs, you go into a pine forest, then you go back onto some like high desert, then you go down into the lower desert with the saguaros and the prickly pears and all the Gila monsters and rattlesnakes and stuff.
That's my red racer. We were listening to the animal episode, and the red racer that was chasing or running next to me.
Yeah.
That was on Milagrosa.
Millie.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I'd say Milagrosa is one of the hardest trails that we have on Mount Lemmon. And it's actually one of the success stories we have from this Master's Trail plan. It was a part of phase 1 to get adopted. So that one is actually a wildcat trail that is currently adopted by the Forest Service. So
it's been there a long time.
forever.
So how did? Well, I don't want to get back into the Forest Service stuff because we really do want to know about you guys too. I mean, we loved hearing about TORCA, but we want to know about you guys. So I'll skip my question, which was more trail stuff. But
more trail stuff. But okay,
let's-
so a carryover for the trail discussion. So you talked about your favorite being Windsor. You said Braille Trail in
Santa Cruz.
in Santa Cruz, and then the
Bugsarosa.
Bugsarosa. So that's Bug Springs, Prison Camp, and Milagrosa in Tucson on the Santa Catalina's up on Mount Lemmon. What is the hardest trail you've ever ridden? We'll start with you, Nick. What's the hardest trail? Like the one that just kicked your ass. And you're like, nah, I'm not doing that again.
I mean, possibly Milagrosa. I never wrote it. When my one friend I kind of went to high school with moved here, and I was like, yeah, let's try it. And I did.
You took him down Millie.
Well, we kind of took each other down. I'd never been down it. And that was actually the first time I ran into TORCA. They were working on it in, I think, late 2017. And
they looked at you guys like, what the hell are you guys
like,
doing
what
here?
Are you doing? And we tried to, we can't pedal up the road. We're weak. I didn't even have a bike rack, I think. So we had to take my friend. He could fit 2 bikes to Molino in his car. And then at the end we had to pedal back up, and that was so hard.
Oh yeah.
And we're going down the ACT portion, and that part right after the saddle is technically intermediate, but it's very steep, and there's blood rock there with a nice red some nice blood that has been sacrificed there.
Some Nick blood.
It's not my blood. That would have been on the waterfall in Milagrosa, but that was years after. But doing that trail, I was like, what, are we almost there? Are we on the hard part yet? And then we eventually did it, and it was great, but it was a little bit of a hike with a bike kind of thing. But now, I mean, pretty much the whole thing is rideable after some practice and stuff.
Practice helps.
All right, so Nick says
helps.
Milagrosa. Matt, what do you say? What's the hardest trail you've ever attempted to ride?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you ridden Portal? You guys ridden Portal?
Haven't ridden
Oh
Portal
yes,
yet.
I have ridden Portal. That was also,
And Milagrosa is harder than Portal?
Okay, so I actually can I give a second answer?
Sure.
Maybe?
Yes.
So I decided when I go to Sedona, when I go to Moab, I am an Energizer bunny. I'm never there long enough to get all my riding out. So I'm just like, I'm going to ride 3 or 4 times a day. Let's do this kind of thing. And so last time I went to Moab with my wife, we brought 2 bikes each, a cross-country bike and an enduro bike. We did the Navajo Rocks, like a cross-country loop up there, like 10, 15 miles. And I brought my enduro bike in the car. I told my wife, just drop me off. It's 105 out or so in early September. I'm sure I'll run into people down on Mag 7. It'll be fine. I'm not taking the Poison Spider thing. I'm doing Portal.
Yeah.
This is going to be great. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, this shouldn't be that hard. I think it's not that much climbing. And the first section of Mag 7 is pretty easy. And then you get to the gold bar climb up there, and I was just like, oh, this sucks. Like, I'm dying right now. Like, I'm already it's super steep, and it was very hot, and the heat just radiating off the rocks. I mean, I've ridden in the Arizona summer, but after doing another ride, and there's nobody out there. There's one Jeep. There's just like, oh wow, you're crazy. Like, kind of thing.
What the hell are you doing out here?
What are you doing out here? And I'm just like, am I at Portal yet? And I was like,
God, no.
Okay, I'm finally at Portal. I was like, okay, I'm taking this real easy. And all the get off your bike parts, I obviously got off my bike. And then you kind of come around the corner and hit that drop and go into the real techie stuff. I was just like, oh, I am like, so my legs are like dying. My arms are dying. I need to be real careful. And I definitely like walked some parts. And if I was a little bit more rested, I could have ridden it. But I was just like, oh, I'm just so exhausted. And then I was like calorie deficit right there, and just like pounded like a 2 footlongs at like Subway after, and I was like, I needed that. I burned all those.
So you're saying Millie and Portal?
Yeah, Portal. I was like, oh, this is super exposed and like very crazy.
So I was in the shop today, and one of the guys that went with me to Moab on our trip, last guy who I haven't asked, I told him, I said, hey, I've asked everybody who went on that ride that rode Portal with us. And during the ride afterwards, when we're at the bottom, a guy had like a bucket full of ice cold washcloths. Yeah. And we put them all on ourselves and stuff. At that point, everybody was mad at me, and they're like, we're never coming back here again. And I've said this story, and I've asked a few since then, and he was the last one today. He was the only one who was like, I've done it. I don't need to do it again, is what he said. That was Bert. and shout out to Bert. But everybody else was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So like
They want to do it. They want to ride it again.
after a certain amount of time. I
It's
think they just forgot
it's
how
type
painful.
3. It's type 3 fun.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have fun.
Yeah.
You don't have fun then.
Yeah.
But it's cool to tell the stories afterwards.
Yeah, oh, big time, big time.
So Matt, what's the hardest trail you ever attempted to ride?
You know, the only one that really comes to mind, I mean, I'm sure there's something back there where I was, you know, I've done it once. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
But the one that comes to mind is Incinerator up here on Mount Lemmon.
Oh yeah.
It's not a long trail, but I like to think of it more of like a puzzle than a trail, because there's some cool rock features going down and going up that you really just need to like figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, there's no obvious way because a lot of it is just solid granite, and there's, you know, you kind of see a trail marker in the future, but it's like, well, how do I get from here to there? Oh, up this thing? Fuck. And so it's still one that, like, you know, I can clean it some days, and then like some days it'll just come back and bite you. I.e. this, you know,
Yeah.
souvenir I have in my arm.
You guys have ridden in a lot of places in the world, right? I mean, I know Nick, you just got back from Alaska.
I did not ride there.
You didn't ride very much at all, but like you guys have ridden in a lot of places in the world, and it's amazing that the hardest trail, like you guys both picked a trail on Mount Lemmon here in Tucson as the hardest trail you've ever ridden.
Yeah.
That should say something. That definitely should say something. What are you guys riding these days? Nick, what are you riding? Like, what's your stable look like?
So I currently have 4 bikes. Technically, I'm trying to sell one. My newest bike is an Orbea OEs, my cross country sub 22 pound race bike that I hope to podium at Tour of the White Mountains. I did it last year for first time racing it, only in the 35.
Good luck, man.
Hopefully I can do it in the 50.
That's awesome.
That hike bike is kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, shout out to Epic Rides, man. They put on a great event.
Todd's great.
Yeah.
So that's my newest bike. I also have a Rocky Mountain Altitude. Was able to go to the Rocky Mountain headquarters when I was in Vancouver on my way up there, and got a kind of impromptu private tour of all their fatigue testing, back room of testing stuff.
Road trip.
Yeah, right. It was super cool. And then I have what I rode here today is a Santa Cruz Skitch, which is my e-commuter that I try to ride to work every now and then. It is
and for the record, like
summertime.
Nick rode here today.
I did, yes.
Matt drove a big ass van, but Nick rode here.
I did. 10 miles each way. I had the assist on, but it's not too bad. And then my old cross country bike is still kind of in the selling stable it's a Yeti SB100 that I've raced and rode for. I bought it right at the start of COVID, so it's been around for 4 years, and I've put I think 5,000 miles on it, and it's time to go to a better home. It's still in great shape and has a custom wrap on it that
Nick's trying to sell his bike on the podcast.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Anyone want it?
Contact Nick. I'll put a link to his Facebook Marketplace in the show notes here if he wants. Sure. I've got a Altitude Power Play.
Do you?
That's my
nice.
e-bike, and
Nice.
that's the only e-bike I have, and it's a great bike. Do you have a coil or a air spring on the back?
For the Altitude?
Yeah.
I started with a DPX2 and could not handle it, so I have a DHX2. So yeah, definitely coil on it.
Coil, yeah. I've switched to a coil as well.
Oh, it
DVO.
is definitely.
Right on. Matt, what about you? What are you riding these days?
My main steed is a Rocky Mountain Altitude as well.
No way.
Look at that, dude.
Great minds.
Great minds. You get an Altitude too, right?
Oh, it's my favorite bike.
Yeah.
It's an amazing bike.
So all 4 of us have some flavor of an Altitude in this room right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I have a 38 170 up front and a coil in the rear.
Yeah.
DHX2. Carbon hoops.
Yeah.
She's not light, but she takes a beating and she pedals well.
Yeah.
And I've had that rig for 3 years now.
Right on.
And it's been to...
Are you selling that one? I saw that you were selling something.
I am selling it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The trails around here in Tucson, I think you got the gist already that they're a little tough.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to pass it on to the next next owner before it turns into dust. But it's still,
looks like it's in good shape.
in really good shape. Like, but yeah,
What are you going to get next then if you're going to sell that?
another Rocky Mountain.
Yeah. The new altitude?
I was thinking shorter travel because a lot of the trails that I ride around here,
The new Instinct.
Instinct,
Instinct BC. That's the money bunny. So.
yeah, that's next in the stable. But we'll see what the funds.
So let's see. Mine's a 2020. What year was yours?
21.
21, and then Nick.
21 as well,
Yeah.
I think.
So I got the oldest one. I'm actually thinking about painting mine. That's how much I love it, and I'm gonna probably keep it. And for a bike guy who sells,
If you want to get it
living,
painted and you want to put Shimano on the side and Mountain Kaga on the other side, I'll pay for your paint job.
Oh, do it.
don't make. I'll do it.
And I'll pay for it.
Done. I don't think you know how much painting a bike costs.
But you got to put Shimano components on it as well.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm not scared.
Done.
Right now, I've got
dude, let's shake hands.
There we go.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
All
done.
I see it.
I got. I have a group, an XTR group at home.
That's fine.
I do.
I'm
not
okay with
scared.
the XTR.
I'm not. What do you?
I'm
a bicyclist, so I can have more than one type of things.
You should get a Mountain Cog head badge.
That would be pretty
Yeah.
cool,
Like-
actually.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Final question for you guys. Because we've been talking for a while. Does it feel like we've been talking for a while? You guys think this has been like too long? Kind of.
been like 4
Nick's
hours.
like, this is awful. This is awful. Get us out of here.
Nick's asleep. I don't know if you noticed that.
All right. So, from an outside view, like we said, we're Switzerland. We feel like as a trail advocacy, as the groups of trail advocacies that we're the different trail advocacy groups, that we're like better together than we are apart. Like we're stronger together than we are apart. Like everyone, whether it's equestrian, whether it's climbers, whether it's hikers, or friends of the Catalina or whoever. And this applies kind of like everywhere in the country, that we're all better together than we all apart. And so like, I'd be interested in your thoughts on like what we can do to help like try to find more common ground and like work more collectively, more together on trail advocacy for maintenance, for new trails, whatever, versus like fighting with each other. What do you guys think about that?
No, the district, the Santa Catalina district ranger definitely wants us to do that. He's told us, for the first time in what I can remember, I think in February we had a joint trail day on prison camp with the ATA, Arizona Trail Association.
Yep. Shout out to Matt Nelson.
Matt Nelson, and all them up there. It was great because we were able to share tools, share insights, crew leaders, get a lot of work done. They gave us free lunch.
What?
Yeah.
Free lunch is always good.
And we usually just do snacks.
There is no
after.
free lunch.
So that was awesome. We want to, and with other groups, like I said earlier, the Catalina volunteer groups, or the Catalina district has 30 volunteer groups. There is a new volunteer coordinator with the Forest Service, who I am now also in regular contact with. I'm kind of talking to a few different people on the Forest Service, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish. But I have asked for a contact list for all of the other user and volunteer groups, so that I can get a hold of them and do not have to use the Forest Service as a middleman.
That's awesome.
It's just easier that way to invite them out to our stuff. They can invite us to their stuff. But for other mountain bike groups or anyone, the more people, the better. We all have common interests. We all want more trails. I think there are very few, if there are any mountain bikers who don't want new trails in here. I don't know who you are.
And we want our existing trails to be maintained
Exactly,
and in good shape.
Yeah, true. But pooling manpower resources, pooling tool resources, more heads, different ways to look at things, and sharing just insight of lessons learned on doing big projects, I think is really where
So
we
it sounds
can
like you
get that.
guys are doing it already. Like you're trying to like drive this like Like,
I'm doing what I can. I mean, there's not a rule book for being president or a guide, but I'm trying to. And what I've been working pretty hard at, or not super hard at, but like we've said, we have 5 people, but I want to do things, but I also am working on delegating them and making sure everyone does a little bit and we spread the load. So we don't, burnout.
One thing that Josh has brought up before that I think a lot of groups miss out on, and I'm sure you've thought about this, but I'll just say it anyway, because there may be other people out there that want to do what you're doing, but putting it out there for what you need. So like you talked about grant writing, and like having a voice to be able to say, hey, we are looking for somebody who has done this to help us, and asking for that expertise, or, hey, we have a website. Is there a rider who, instead of maybe doing a trail day, you could help me adjust the website?
I can share this. So as a corporate strategist, I can't help but look at an organization and be like, all right, dude, we got some work to do. Like, there's some things we can do. And one of the things I've been recommending is like, let's write out what are the skills that you need, like and expertise that you need to accomplish your mission. And let's go find a mountain biker that's a lawyer. Let's go find a mountain biker that's an accountant. Yeah. Let's go find a mountain biker that's a graphic designer. Mm-hmm. Let's go find a mountain biker that's got experience in grant writing. Yep. Let's bring them all onto our board. And like, instead of trying to go subcontract it or like fumble, if I try to create a fucking website, it's a mess, dude. Right? Like, I don't know how to do that. But if I talk to my buddy Chris Bonzak, who's a mountain biker with right down the road with Bonzak Design, he can do it in his fucking sleep. Yeah. Right. So if I get him on. Mm-hmm. Like, he can do it in his sleep. And if I find a lawyer that can do all the lawyery shit that we need to do. So it's like, build your staff with, the skills that you need so that you're not fumbling through it. Mm-hmm. That's like as a corporate strategist, I can't help but like provide that. And that was kind of like the guy that's what I've been like when I'm looking at SDMB and how they're running. I'm like, all right, dude, we need to like bring some different expertise into this organization.
Totally agree.
I think a lot of volunteer-based organizations just sometimes they don't have a template, and they're just trying to figure it out. And then unfortunately somebody moves on, exactly. And then you got to deal with relearning, and stuff. So,
well, yeah, that all does sound really good. But one of the things that we have had in the past is we've had graphic designers, we've had web designers, we've had lawyers, we've had people come in and they're, oh yeah, I'll totally help you out. And then when we ask them to do something, they're like, oh, I'm busy. And then we never hear from them again. Yeah. And that's the one thing that we haven't.
That's like committed to actually do it.
I got you. It's easier said than done. Yeah. Really, it is. And,
if anything, I'm learning like that's the key. Like the people that actually show up and contribute, right? That you got to take advantage of that.
Yeah. It's weird that mountain bikers would rather go mountain biking than actually do lawyer work.
Exactly. But if you don't have the trails, there's nothing to fucking ride, guys. Exactly. You got to get involved. Exactly. Like, you got to help out. If you have a unique skill, that can help out your trail advocacy group, Jesus Christ, get involved. Help them.
Please.
Please, wherever you are in the world, and specifically in Tucson, help them.
Definitely.
Fortunately, the Forest Service has been actually letting us, talk to them, and they've been actually listening to us. And so they've been using some of their resources to do the things that we want them to do, that they're there for. Cool. So that's pretty cool. And so really, one of the things that we're really lacking in is just manpower at this point. Yeah. It's great to, get people on the board. We do definitely need talent in all the different fields. But one of the more immediate things is, hands in the dirt.
Hands in the dirt. Mm-hmm. Right on. So at torca.org, on your socials, I know you guys are on Instagram. I'm sure you're on Facebook, right? So on your socials, and we'll put all those links in the show notes. Get involved locally. And if you're not in Tucson, get involved with your local advocacy group. Go out there. At a minimum, you should be donating at least one day a year. I think it should be one day a month. I really think it should be maybe 2 days a month, but one day a year at a minimum. If you're riding a mountain bike and you're not helping out in some way, you should feel guilty. This is what I think.
On the positive note, when you do, you're gonna
feel good about it. Yeah.
You're gonna feel great. Like I personally have experienced that, and I know it's easy to say, hey, you owe it to the trails, but really, the amount that you get back from doing it is so worth it. It's so gratifying. And so for those people that don't do it because they don't think they have the skill, these guys are amazing. They'll show you what to do. They'll help you figure it out. They'll bring tools, you know. I mean, we carried a gate out. Like I just carried a gate out to 50 year, and then my kids dug holes all day. And, you know, my kids now, every time they go over that gate, they can say, we helped make this.
Yeah, and that gate's going to be there for pretty much ever.
Yeah, exactly.
That thing was heavy.
Yeah, it was really heavy.
All right, guys, we've been talking for a while. You got any final, thank you so much for coming out and spending some time with us. Do you got any final thoughts for our listeners?
I'd say get out, get involved. You really don't know how much gratitude and accomplishment you'll feel until after you actually do it. I know that I do it regularly, but one of my biggest ones was kind of single-handedly getting that alternate to Bug Senior scouted and in the plan and finalized with less than a month before submission. So I usually don't like to procrastinate, but that felt great. And I feel like it's a big win because it's another 3-ish miles of easier, flowy, hopefully jumpy trail that we can get.
Woo, jumpy. What about you, Matt?
Oh man, yeah. Just to piggyback on Nick, get out there, get involved, do whatever you can for your local trail advocacy group. It's a lot of work, and you definitely have them to thank for everything that you have.
Yeah, and it'll make you feel good.
Mm-hmm. And it makes you buff too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it makes you super sexy. Yeah,
so, but wear sunscreen.
Wear sunscreen.
Long sleeves, closed-toed shoes.
Trail workers. Yeah. So I mean, it's not. We not only give you bean dip, fruit, chips, beer,
vegan
Gatorade.
Options available.
Yeah,
You
get snacks.
You get snacks, and then we have
feel good
gift cards. Backpacks and other stuff for a certain number of days in a year. That you guys can that trail workers can get, and a lot of people have already gotten them this year, and we're only we're about 3/4 of the way through the year. So,
so whether
we've had a lot of good.
Whether you want to pay it forward and like pay back for all the work that's being done and help out, or you do it for your own gratification, or you do it for a backpack, or the snacks, and whatever it takes, just
or shuttle apps with homegrown.
Hey, listen, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know how to help in your local area, just shoot us an email, mountaincog@gmail.com. We will find the local advocacy group for you wherever you're at in the world, and we will help get you connected and help you figure out how to contribute. Nick, Matt, dude, on behalf of like all the mountain bikers in Southeast Arizona, I want to thank you for like all the stuff you're doing. Like I have changed my riding style. I have started to ride more technical shit. I've started riding the mountain. I'm super stoked about that. I got big bikes now where I've had just cross country before. You guys have changed my life, made my relationship with my wife better.
Nice.
Because she likes to ride that shit. And a lot of that is attributed to like the work that you guys have done. So like, thank you so much for the work that you've done and that you continue to do. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.